are coming to you live from $1 Million Studios. Your boys, Chris Speezak,
a.k.a. the Pale Rider.
And the benchmark of professional wrestling, Mr. Silky Baines.
That would make me the Dark Knight.
Speez and the Benchmark Show on a Monday night, October 29, 2018. We thank you so much for being with us. Everybody joining us here on Periscope and over on the YouTubes. We hope you will consider subscribing to the program. Please share it with all the good people who are finishing up Monday Night Raw as we are. And if you want to chip into the cause, you can always do so by keeping those super hearts coming on Periscope. And as Silky is pointing out right now, you can drop us a few coins at the tip jar. tinyurl.com/SB tip jar. Again, we're always appreciative of everybody chipping into the cause, so thank you very much for that. We got a lot of stuff going on tonight, Silky. We had Evolution last night. We got Raw tonight. We got Crown Jewel coming up this weekend. We got free shit to give away. We got Smark Tears. We got all kinds of great stuff going on.
Jam-packed show.
It is a jam-packed show. We're going to get right into it. So we've been teasing some free shit to give away for the last couple shows, and we've been remiss in making that happen. So we have done so now. So we're going to give away some free shit.
Let's give away some free shit.
We haven't done that in a while. We do that quite often on the. Well, I see quite often. We do it every once in a while on the show. We should do it more often than we do.
We should.
But you know, when we do it,
we're not above buying our fans loyalty and respect and love.
That's perfectly
admiration,
fine.
all that shit.
Not at all. So let's give a shout out to the folks on the Periscopes there with us as we pull the stream chats up here, and
we've got Ravens baby,
right? Nice.
JPQ. And this one might be a porn bot.
Yeah, Adam Awesome here with us.
Adam Awesome.
Good to see you.
Uptown Joseph. That sign 100. Babaruski, Ted, Jody
Mania, good to see you.
And 3 other motherfuckers we can't see.
Tana from Bustin' for Autism already joining in on the YouTubes. Thank you for being with us. No Effects fan. Yeah, the revival rant is coming, sir, so don't worry about that.
Miami Heat, 1997.
Hello, huge WWE fan. Well, good to have you with us, Miami Heat fan. And you're here on a good night because we're giving away some free shit, so that's good. All right, so let's get to it, Silky. We got a couple different things we're going to do. So first things first, we decided we were going to go women-centric on this giveaway.
Hence wearing the leader shirt.
Yeah, and in honor of Evolution here. So we got a couple autographs for you guys who are autograph collectors out there. Something old, something new. So first of all, from the Benchmark collection here, we got the, check this out, Vicky Guerrero
sign.
Autograph 8x10. Very nice. Vicky looking, this is old school.
Yeah, this is old school. Like, I don't know when that picture was taken, but goddamn, like from the neck down. Goddamn.
So Vicky looking solid in that one. So you can score yourself the Vicky Guerrero Autograph 8x10 and an on-card autograph from the boss, Sasha Banks.
You got to say boss time.
I'm not going to say it's boss time. I'm not going Michael Cole on this
You just did. Boom. Gotcha.
So you got the autograph card, NXT card from Sasha Banks. You got the autograph 8x10 from Vicky Guerrero. What do you have to do to win this? It's very simple. You got to subscribe to the YouTube channel.
Subscribe to the YouTube channel.
tinyurl.com/Speez Benchmark. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Now, there's those of you watching right now going, I'm already subscribed to the YouTube channel, Speez. What's up with that? How do I get it on this
We
thing?
got you on that.
All you got to do, take a screenshot of your subscription and reply to the tweet that I'm going to send right now. Let me pull the phone up here. I'm going to send a tweet right now because I saved it for specifically when I was going to get to this point of the program. All you got to do is reply to the tweet that I'm just now sending out about the free giveaway with a screenshot of your subscription to the program. That's it. It's as simple as that. And all you people who haven't subscribed yet, same thing with you. All you got to do, take a screenshot of your subscription, reply to the tweet that will be pinned on our profile at Speez Benchmark on Twitter. Boom. You win yourself some free swag. We're going to announce it next week. So a week from today, we'll be giving away the Vicky Guerrero signed 8x10, the Sasha Banks autograph card. And Silky scored us a hell of a guest for Thursday.
I did.
We finally got the guests going again. We're starting to book some guests again now that we got all our technical shit worked out. So Silky, tell the folks, I should say, about the gentleman who'll be joining us on Thursday night.
On Thursday night, joining us, probably for, in my opinion, one of the best wrestlers in Texas. He's right now.
Badass.
He's fresh off his tour of Japan, DDT. He is a current mainstay at Booker T's Reality of Wrestling. We have Ruthless Ryan Davidson joining us.
Ruthless Ryan Davidson will be with us here on Thursday night, taking your phone calls. If you want to talk about his time in Japan, you want to talk about working with Booker T,
yeah,
all that kind of stuff. Ryan Davidson is a badass.
Yeah, he is.
We've seen him numerous times here. I've seen him numerous times. Silky's worked with him numerous times.
Yeah. Great
And
guy.
Ryan Davidson is a super guy. So he will be joining us on Thursday night, 8 p.m., right here on the Speez and the Benchmark Show.
He was my first singles match when I wrestled for Booker T.
Is that right?
Yeah, he was my first thing. Actually, the first show I did, we were a tag team in a one-night tournament, and we made it to the finals. Did not win it, though. And then the very next month, I wrestled him one-on-one. Got my first win. He was my first win at Booker T's.
There you go. Hell of a wrestler. You guys will dig him a lot. Thank you for the Super Hearts coming there. Get the tables. We appreciate you.
Look him up. Ruthless Ryan Davidson. One of the best promos in the game right now. And some of the best, most solid work.
Outstanding. He is excellent. So, lots to get to. We had, of course, Evolution last night. Very, very good show. We enjoyed it thoroughly. Yeah, I didn't expect to enjoy it as much as I did.
Yeah. Well, and I had one issue with like the commentary on Evolution about, I get it's a big deal, but, and maybe I'm just overthinking it, but the fact that they so much harped on how big of a deal this is, how great they were doing, it makes it seem like you on some level think that they weren't capable of that.
Yeah, it does.
If it's
like, whoa, I can't believe this is going so well.
Women wrestled and they did good. Like, I felt like they should have lessened that and just talked about the matches in and of itself, like how great each specific match, not just that, oh, these guys, I can't believe these guys did so great and whatnot.
Yeah.
And I really hated the end of the show with all the people on the stage and stuff.
Yeah, we'll get to that here shortly as well. Shout out to Dr. Huge for the Super Hearts and Jeffrey Cross as well. We appreciate you guys. Shout out to you, Juanito, over on the YouTubes joining us. Once again, we appreciate all you guys sharing the program, retweeting the program, getting it out there to as many folks as possible. And, of course, we forgot to mention this at the top, but if you want to get in on the conversation, you can give us a call, 832-937-4559.
Or that's 832-93-SILKY.
But you know what we're going to kick things off with? It's a fan favorite. Everybody digs it because come WWE pay-per-view times, there's a lot of opinions that get thrown out there on social media. We've said it before. Some of them are good. Most of them are bad.
All of them are funny.
A lot of them are downright hilarious. And we have collected for you, our loyal fans, the worst of the worst. Here they are. Social media's biggest crybabies in a special Evolution edition of Smark Tears, everybody. Here we go with a brand new edition of Smark Tears. Silky, go to kick us off. Here we go, sir.
At Rob_King92 says, WWE has the creativity of a box of crayons.
He's not feeling the creativity at all. I get that it's an all-women's pay-per-view, but did we really need 3 women on commentary?
That's real fucked up.
That's not nice to Michael Cole at all.
Yeah, that was real fucked up.
That's not nice. Don't do that to Michael.
And wrestling with issues, smoking weed is not helping watching Evolution. Just take my word for it.
I guess he's
Guess he didn't enjoy it even though he was high.
And you really got to not enjoy something to not enjoy it while you're being high. That's bad news. Oh, shit, I just realized WWE Evolution was like 3 hours ago. And, yeah, I don't care. I'm just going to watch the NXT stuff in it. No, Ronda Rousey beating Nikki Bella ass. Hey, Nikki doesn't deserve an emoji. Hashtag whatever that is. Just fucking stream of conscious. I'm just going to go with whatever.
Just randomness.
Doesn't like the hashtag. Oh, we're forgetting our baby cries in here. Yeah.
Yeah, we got to get, goddamn.
Cry about Nikki Bella. I'm too busy laughing at these fuckers. Here we go.
All right. Hashtag WWE, hashtag WWE Evolution. Get rid of your shitty fucking agenda and stop jobbing Asuka, then disposing her like trash after a year. Fuck that. Then you have Nia beat Ember. Are you fucking kidding me? You promised change. I see no such thing. So fuck you.
I see no such thing, so fuck you. Why WWE still feel the need to give the Iconics a microphone, I'll never know. It's painful on the old ears. Thank fuck for the mute button.
You know, I did like the Iconics.
I like the Iconics. I do too.
It's set up perfectly. You knew he was watching it with me. We're like, they're going to be the first ones out.
That's right. And they got crushed immediately. It was great. It was great. Here we go.
Riot Squad versus Bayley, Sasha Banks, and Natalya. Why did they add another T to Riot? That's stupid. The Riot Squad just don't do it for me. They remind me of the suburban white kids who try and play gangsta. Not invested. This is low-key the bathroom match for me.
I am the white kid that tried to play gangster, so I took a special offense to this one. Fuck that guy. Brie Bella, I could botch a dive better than anyone. Sasha Banks, Bailey, hold my purple hair extension. That was not boss. That was terrible.
That was the funniest thing. When that happened, I just imagined, I was like, I was telling Chris, there was no way she was clearing that top rope with the speed she was getting.
No.
And when they caught her, I could just imagine her saying, you know what? Fuck it. I'm dying here. Kill me.
It was terrible. It was terrible. All right, here we go.
Fell asleep during Riot Squad versus Sasha, Natalya, and Bailey and missed the rest. If this is the future, then fuck
this shit, I'm out.
Yeah, then fuck this shit, fuck this shit, I'm out.
Oh my goodness.
Oh man, a little grammar from
Grammy.
Yeah,
it's tough when you know.
It's tough
when they don't even come grammatically correct, and we got to try to figure it out for them. That's never good.
Yeah, I probably should have screened these before.
That's okay. It's much more fun. I'm watching Evolution with my cousin who doesn't watch wrestling at all. Quote, why does Ruby look like an edgy receptionist? How do you come up with edgy receptionist? Especially for Ruby Riott of all people. What is that?
Fuck off for showing Nia at the end solely to piss me off more. Oh, fuck off.
Yeah, exactly. Like
you have to read that in a British accent.
Yeah, there were several that were British that were quite good, as a matter of fact. Tori's out. This pay-per-view sucks. 0 out of infinity. I shall post my disgust on Twitter. I like the I shall post my disgust. That's well done, sir.
Shayna Baszler can go piss up a motherfucking rope.
Oh my god!
Shayna Baszler would fuck you up.
I read that one to
is.
Silky last night, and he fucking died laughing. It was so good. He's like, "We got to use that one. That was great." Trish Stratus had her face so tight you could see it was hard for her to blink.
That is so fucked up.
Trish still looks good, but that's still pretty funny.
Yeah, that's still good. Y'all see the ref kick the chair to Becky Lynch? That shit is rigged. Hashtag WWE Evolution. Hashtag boo the woo. Hashtag kayfabe. Because, nothing says I'm a wrestling know-it-all more than using kayfabe.
Yeah, exactly. And the fact that I think this is the second time that we've had somebody reference
this is rigged.
Scripted shit being rigged, Like, what is that all about? Fuck you and your Bellas and your arm and your shitty acting and your reality show and your talentless star fucking lap dancing no John Cena having ass.
Wow. that is just
he hate me as
hate.
He's not a Bella's fan.
Hate.
He is not a Bella's fan at all.
There is far too much of this white woman only bullshit on the main roster from Vince McMahon.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I had to make sure that you read that one because it sounded a lot better coming from you.
Yeah.
So, this Ronda Rousey Bella Twins match sucks compared to the rest of the night. Wet garbage versus ingrown nipple hair.
What? What the fuck?
I've never heard ingrown nipple hair until this very moment. That's brilliant. Okay.
Ronda retains. Thank fuck. If the Botch Twins had the Raw Women's title, I would have shat myself. Literally.
And props to that guy for properly using shat as the past tense of shit. So that's very well done. And finally, anyways, Evolution is the best pay-per-view of this year. I'm so proud of the girls. Except Ronda. Fuck her. There you go, folks. The special Evolution edition of Smark Tears. Some good stuff as always. Twitter is just a beautiful place. When you have a podcast like this, it's a beautiful place. So, oh my goodness. 832-937-4559 if you want to get in. I don't know how you can follow that. I mean, that's pretty good stuff. So, it's going to be funny if a lot of these people start to have You know, like their followers start going up based on this show because people are going to watch just to see them melt down.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, I'm sure we should have put your whole reaction to Revival.
Yeah, we're going to get to that horse shit shortly.
Why is it every time I bring up something you don't like, we have to get to that shortly?
Because
in other words, I'm pushing it back.
Let's talk about Evolution.
We just came off of Evolution and Smark Tears and hearing people bitch. So, i.e., nice segue to you bitching about the Revival.
Okay, let's get to me bitching about the Revival. I'm going to set the scene for you here, right? So Silky shows up early tonight. You know, he usually comes in about half hour before the show starts. He comes in crazy early today. So we're seeing these lucha fuckers come to the lucha party.
Them. Lucha house party.
Lucha house party.
I mean, they're disrespected enough by WWE.
Yeah, by carrying a fucking some pinata and some little noisemaker painted with a Mexican flag. This is on level
with fucking Kai and Tai speaking in subtitles with the racistness of it.
Yeah, it's not exactly doing a lot for race relations with your and the
noisemakers with the Mexican flag. It was hilarious. But
so we're watching this, right? And those guys are walking down the ring, and me and Silky are literally looking at each other like, that's fucked up, man. Like, I can't believe they're going so stereotypical. Like, let's give the guys a fucking pinata. Like, like, come on, man. Do these guys a solid. And then they cut to the ring and they show the Revival. And I wish you could have heard Silky fucking start laughing.
It was so great.
He just starts cracking up laughing.
Oh, it was the greatest thing ever that happened because I knew he was just boiling and seething.
Yeah, and of course.
Because no entrance means no victory.
Absolutely.
So we knew the Revival were going to fucking lose.
Yep.
And guess what? They fucking lost.
And of course,
so the the racist lucha fucking house party gimmick is probably going to get tag titles before the fucking Revival.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Shout out to all you guys over on the on the YouTubes who have joined us since we started. Brooke is with us here, and JPQ16, welcome to you, sir. Alistair Fiend jumping back and forth between YouTube and the Periscope. So thank you very much for that as well. So, yeah, it was not good. I was not happy.
Pretty racist.
I mean, look, I don't even have to watch the shows to know when the Revival's going to lose because it's gotten to that point where
if they're on the show.
Fucking Bobaruski, Juanito probably. Juanito's not as bad about taunting me about the Revival, but yeah. Bobaruski's there. Jeffrey Cross will be there. Silky will definitely let me know that the Revival's about to get their ass kicked. It's just, man, it's so disappointing. And that's what he said. He said, you know, at this point, the fucking Lucha House Party is going to win the tag title.
Yeah,
like Revival are.
Yeah, all Freebird rule. So all three of those motherfuckers.
I guess so. Yeah, Jeffrey Cross saying Street Profits are greater than the Revival. Well, you know, they did just win the Evolve Tag Team Championships over the weekend.
And Fabian Eichner from NXT won the Evolve Championship.
Well, there you go. So I think it's cool that the NXT guys are thumping around with other promotions and such, at least with Evolve. I know they got a deal going on with those guys. You guys remember when WWE had that Asian guy?
Jimmy Wang Yang.
Jimmy Wang Yang.
Yes, I do remember that.
Names of all time.
Yes.
Jimmy Wang Yang. There was a stand-up comic. I think his name was Henry Cho. And he had the biggest redneck accent. And he came out and started talking, and people just lost their shit. Like, he didn't even have to say anything funny. And he's like, let me explain. And he goes this big diatribe about how he got this redneck accent. Every time I hear of Jimmy Wang Yang, I think of the same thing going on. So I agree with you, Jody. The Revival career going to need reviving before too much longer. It's just
it already does. I mean, at this point, the doctors should be calling time of death for their fucking career in WWE.
The only positive you take from it is there seems to be no rhyme or reason as to why one team gets pushed and another team doesn't. So just as you know,
I mean, that's what you tell yourself to make you feel better about the Revival.
No, but seriously,
getting such a shitty draw. I mean, but at the end of the day, they still get paid. So I guess there's a win there. But I mean, they lose to every team.
No, I mean, at some point, Vince is just going to
decide. At this point, me and you from Speez and the Benchmark can go on Raw and wrestle the Revival, and we will fucking beat them because
we'd probably go over.
Yeah, we would, and. You know, it'd probably be you doing something very uncoordinated and still.
How did I become the uncoordinated guy?
Because obviously you're the uncoordinated out of the two of us.
That's a bunch of horse shit.
Come on. We're not going to hash this out again.
Okay, we won't hash it out again. The Revival remind me of Aiden English before Rusev irrelevant. That's a bit harsh, but hey.
I mean, it's pretty accurate though.
Appreciate the super hearts, Juanito. Thank you, sir. Yeah. That's some pity super hearts from Juanito is what that is.
We'll take it though. I mean, anyone else want to drop super hearts on us to make Chris feel better about how shitty his team is doing?
Yeah, that's fine.
Go ahead. We will accept him.
They were so close to gold they could taste it. That's true. I
mean, they weren't. They were never really that close.
Horseshit. When they had that title match, when they finally got their title match that they deserved.
Which one? Both of the ones they lost to the fucking B team?
Hey.
They
said,
lost by happenstance. Like they couldn't even get beat like a normal team. Like just the team was better than them. It was dumb luck.
Well,
which means they have shitty luck. Like they are like that Steve Carell movie about the worst day ever, where they switch. The kid has bad luck and wishes he didn't have it, and it transferred to like his parents, so they all started having bad luck. That is the revival right there.
Okay. Well, whatever it is, I'm tired of them fucking losing. It'd be nice if they win once in a while, but so it goes.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Evolution a little bit.
Yeah, let's talk about Evolution.
Everybody's talking about the Becky-Charlotte match and what an outstanding match that was.
It was amazing.
And I think that's a fair place to start because those two absolutely crushed it.
And NoFX fan says, B team.
Go.
Of
course he does. I'm used to that by now. Here's the thing about Evolution. I think that I definitely underestimated about the card. I think it's the uniqueness of the card that really made this thing kind of come out of nowhere and surprise me, because when you think about it, if you think of it as just an all-women's pay-per-view, as I say it that way, it sounds kind of shitty, and I don't mean for it to, but when you look at the types of matches that you had on that card, not only did you have the two title matches, of course, but you also had returning superstars. You had superstars past and present, not only in the Battle Royal, but you had Trish and Lita, who were teaming up in their match as well. Plus, you had the finals of the Mae Young Classic, so you get to see a couple of wrestlers that people who watch just regular network WWE and don't really follow these ladies that aren't a part of NXT and the WWE get to see some new faces that you haven't seen before.
AKA new Black Man's Kryptonite, Toni Storm.
Yeah, apparently Toni Storm. Now, has she surpassed Dana Brooke as?
No, not yet.
Okay, so
but she's up there. It's like 1 and 1A.
Okay, that's fair.
You know.
I know Jeffrey Cross trying to get us on a dance break. We can't. I'll tell you, we'll have a dance break when the Revival win the tag titles.
So we'll never have a fucking dance break.
That's horseshit. We're gonna have a dance break sooner or later. But you had the Mae Young. You had the Mae Young Classic. No. Yeah, see, you fucked yourself on purpose there, and you didn't even know that you were doing it. What are we celebrating again?
Dance break, random dance break, because
okay, well, if the fans ask for it, then they get it. That's for you, Jeffrey Cross, just because. And of course, you had the NXT Championship between Shayna Baszler and Kairi Sane. So,
which good match.
It was a good match as well. So, again, in retrospect, you look at it and you go, "Oh shit, this is kind of a unique show. They don't really have." Shows, and it's not just because it's an all-women's show, but the fact that they have these different types of matches all in one spot that you don't really get to see, you know?
I mean, I get that, but the only real thing unique about it is the fact, only besides the all-women thing, the only unique thing about it was having the Baszler match, the NXT match, and the Mae Young Classic match. That everything, but it's just a normal pay-per-view. It just happens to have all women in it, and it was good. And I feel like a lot of people who say like I was surprised, like kind of like what you said, and I'm not throwing you under the bus, but kind of like the way you said, like I'm surprised. It's because there's that stigma with women's wrestling that it's, you know, for so long it was divas and just shit and bra and panties matches. So now that they're in this full swing of the women's revolution and actually women being wrestlers and not fucking eye candy, that people still on some level think of women like that, like with the divas and stuff. So the fact that they're so surprised is kind of, it's just weird to me.
Yeah, and
it was,
more
if you
of
look at wrestling for wrestling's sake, this was a very good pay-per-view. Even the Nikki Bella Ronda Rousey match, I enjoyed that match. That was a good match. I mean, it should not have followed, and it was. Yeah, I think if you put that match somewhere else on the card, like maybe following the Mae Young Classic or the Shayna Baszler match, people would be like, "Wow, that match was really good."
It was a lot better than it should have been.
I mean, it basically, like I told you last night, it was like the dog that followed the fucking Beatles.
Yeah,
like. There was just no way, which you should have put that tweet I sent over to you where apparently Ronda Rousey started following Becky Lynch on Twitter.
Oh, did you guys see this earlier?
So fucking savage. So Becky puts a screenshot and it says Ronda Rousey follows you, and then she put, well, she tried.
Oh, it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. Yeah, and I think going back to what I was saying in terms of me being somewhat surprised, I think it was more so with the fact that they spent so little time building up to this show, and we talked about this quite a bit about how we had so many other shows that we were pushing towards, and it seemed like so few of the feuds were given a lot of airtime and so on and so forth, that it really seemed like it was just kind of a hodgepodge of matches that were thrown together. But then when you actually watched it, you go, shit, that was actually really good.
I mean, they're all.
And thank you, Jeffrey Cross, for the super hard. Sorry to interrupt.
I mean, all of the matches on there. I mean, this is one of those rare occasions where I can, in my opinion, where I can say there was not a bad match on the card. Now, obviously, there were matches that were better. There's some that you're less invested in just because there was no build or maybe too much of the same shit, like i.e. the Riot Squad versus Sasha Bailey. And it was still a good match for match's sake, but I mean, it's hard to get invested when I've seen this match for like 3 straight weeks on Raw,
right?
And on every iteration of that match, and then they came back this Monday or today with basically the same match, but then we added the first match to it, so it became a 10-person match. And I mean, I want to throw this out here. Do you think the Riot Squad is the female version of the fucking Revival?
Hey, I was just going to say the same thing because it really feels that way. I know a lot of people are pissed off about the way the Riot Squad's getting booked.
I mean, they
can't win shit.
Yeah, they have no credibility. I mean, they work great as a team. They look awesome as a unit in the ring, but then they lose. So how can they be credible? And Michael Cole just blowing smoke like how Ruby Riot's going to be the next eventually is going to be a women's champion, and while she is talented enough to be a women's champion, but the way they're booking, like, I want to know, where does he see that when every fucking match she loses?
Yeah, I mean, eventually you got to start winning some matches, and you got to win a lot of matches, not just a few here and there. Like Mickie James, blah, BJ2205, not a fan of Mickie James. I thought Mickie James did a great job in that first match, considering that
she was kind of like the glue that held that match together.
Yeah, I mean,
that made that match watchable, because I'm not a big fan of Alicia Fox as far as like her gimmick, and her work is all right, but I just don't like the gimmick.
She's there to get ragdolled is basically what it is.
Pretty much.
She gets ragdolled by everybody.
Oh, that's even better.
3MB, yeah.
But I think that it would have been a way better match, obviously, if Alexa hadn't unfortunately got hurt and could have been in the match.
Couldn't agree more. Yeah, but they really did a good job. I thought Lita, was a little rusty. I was very, very pleasantly surprised with how good Trish looked in the ring. Like she brought it in the, what was it, the WrestleMania women's tag? When do we have the last women's
the
Battle Royal
Rumble?
The Royal Rumble, sorry. Yeah, and she looked great in the women's Royal Rumble, and sure enough, I mean, I thought she looked great in this one. She looked great again tonight. I mean, aside from the fact that her face is stretched so tight, it's hard for her to blink, as someone said on Smark Tears, which is unfortunate.
And Lita actually hit the moonsault perfect.
She hit a couple of them.
Yeah.
And we'll get to Charlotte's moonsault in a minute. Well, we get to Charlotte's moonsault now. Here's the thing. A couple of people have pointed out some of the botches that were there. The Charlotte one is one that sticks out.
That was not really. I don't really see that as botch, because it wasn't like she was 10 feet off. I mean,
she was off enough to where it didn't break the table, and it should have broken the table.
But
so in that regard,
even if, I mean, and this is where I have to defend as being in the ring and been in a tables match or two, is that sometimes you can do everything right and the table just doesn't break. I mean,
that's true. We have
with
seen
Becky's weight, and Becky's not a big girl, but let's be real, it's a table. and it's just a normal like wooden table you get from any fucking office supply store with Becky's weight in the center of it, which it was. Even if Charlotte missed and got her hands just enough force to hit her hands, that table should have broke. So
you would think.
Yes, the camera angle makes it look like she missed, but she hit enough of that where that table should have broke, but it did not. So I don't think it's fair to give her shit for the fact that the table didn't
I'm
break.
not gonna give her
I
shit
wouldn't
about
call
it.
that a botch, is what I'm saying. Like I would call a botch like if she missed completely, or because think about it, this is not the first time in a Charlotte match this happened. Remember Hell in a Cell?
I was just gonna say,
fucking threw Sasha into it, and Sasha hit it, and she just fucking fell off.
And
that's
clearly,
not a botch. That's just the table fucking was being a dick.
Yeah. Ruby Riott should be the women's champ, says Juanito. And Alistair Fiend thinks she's, good looking or whatever. But
I actually do too. I don't know why. I think it's a God thing.
She's an attractive lady for sure. Well, there was the Charlotte thing, and again, you know how I feel about Charlotte and her moonsaults. So yet again, Charlotte doing a moonsault that doesn't result in what it's supposed to result in. But hey, like you said,
he says as
I'll
if
give
he
you
could
the
do a
benefit of
perfect
the
fucking
doubt.
moonsault.
I'll give you the benefit of the doubt on this one, definitely, since you've been in the ring, you've done it before. Now the Sasha thing
was
pretty fucking bad.
Yeah, there's no cover for that. Like, in what world, with the speed she was running, did she just think she'd tap into that black side and all of a sudden get some fucking ups? Like, she jogged. Like, I thought she was going to suicide. Like, you don't have to sprint to suicide and get through.
Yeah.
But if you're talking about going up and over versus just going straight through.
Well, and you saw when she hit the ropes. I mean, the ropes didn't even budge.
Yeah.
She wasn't even like trying to get it. And I mentioned this to Silky. Sasha's pretty light, definitely light compared to me. But when you hit the ropes, I'm not a huge guy by any stretch of the imagination. But when I hit the ropes, it springs you out into the middle of the ring.
Yeah.
And when Sasha hit those ropes, they didn't budge at all. I'm thinking, oh shit, she didn't have any kind of momentum at all. And then to see that just kind of topple over the top rope there.
It was hilarious. I want to get to NoFX question. He asked, why did the ref keep squeezing Becky and Charlotte's hand after big spots? And that's something the refs do to check if the wrestlers are all right and make sure that they're not too hurt.
Fair enough. That's why
you'll see that squeeze. But back to the match.
The cringeworthy, as Jody says, the Sasha Banks.
Yeah,
the top rope.
I mean, can you just imagine her just being like, you know what, fuck it, I don't care, just kill me.
There were people on Twitter trying to defend Sasha Banks and saying that was done on purpose.
No, it was not. I'm
that
sure
she purposely botched that because
that's people are
blah blah blah.
Those people are fucking stupid. I'm sure though. I'm pretty sure she was supposed to dive, flip over the top, and all three of them catch her and then throw her into the guardrail like they did, but she undershot. Big time.
Yeah,
like
undershot.
She was trying to jump over. She thought she had like LeBron James ups or something. I don't know what the hell she was thinking. She thought she had LeBron James ups, and she more had like Manu Ginobili ups.
And I must have looked away at this one, but somebody else was talking about how there was a Bailey. When Bailey jumped out of the ring, and it was awful as well.
Well, it was a little weird because when Bailey did the suicide, but instead of just jumping straight, she kind of jumped and like kind of turned to the side.
Gotcha.
So, but the camera angle wasn't there. So, I mean, from what you see, it looks like she's not going right, and then she just drops off frame. So it kind of looked like when Lindsay did that dive tonight.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And I think that might have happened where she hit and then she just fell down.
And here's the thing, we can nitpick about these things, so on and so forth. And one of the things that I'm seeing online, and I'm curious to hear you guys' thoughts about this. It seems like, and our buddy Sean O'Brien, who was with us on the program here recently, at Sean Neutron on Twitter, if you want to follow him, he's got some great takes. He mentioned that a lot of people look at this as it had to be an all or nothing kind of thing. It was like either you're supposed to talk about Evolution as being this absolutely fantastic, one-of-a-kind, top-to-bottom, badass event, or else it was a total piece of shit. They never should have done it in the first place, and it was a total waste of time. It's like there seems to be these extremes.
I mean, I don't really feel like it should be that extreme. Like,
no, I totally agree with you, but there are so many people that see, like, if you don't, like what we're doing right now, the fact that we're pointing out that, yeah, there were flaws in the program. There were flaws in the matches. There were mistakes that were made, so on and so forth. That's not to say that we're shitting on the program. We didn't appreciate the show. We didn't feel like they should have done it. But there's a lot of that going on as well. It's almost like if you don't speak glowingly about it from top to bottom, then you're somehow doing these women a disservice. And I kind of feel the opposite. I feel like if you're just going to massage their egos and say that they did a great job when there were very clearly things that got fucked up, that's what's doing them a disservice.
Exactly.
You know, I'm not going to go out there and kiss your ass and tell you did wonderfully just because you did it.
Yeah.
If you made mistakes, we make mistakes. And honestly,
there weren't, I mean, there was the couple, like I say, the dive was very noticeable. But other than that, it was just Alicia Fox saying was like, and that's more, I think, more on the fucking cameraman for shooting right there where you can clearly hear Mickey call for Foxy to get and break up this pin. Yep. If that camera angle's from a different angle, even if the ref was pulled up on the 3, you wouldn't have even been able to tell. But because it was shooting right there, and I've noticed that in WWE lately a lot, is that the cameraman be in these angles and they catch stuff they're not supposed to catch, and it's like no one's saying, hey, cut, we don't want to see that. We don't want to see the referee, you know, sliding the fucking chair because it's out of position, which is like what happened in the Becky match. I'm sure
that happens way more often than you guys will ever know. Than the casual fan will ever know. That shit happens all the time.
All the time. I've been in several matches where, especially those gimmick matches where
I've
there's
done it
weapon,
myself as a referee, where I've done that very same thing.
Where you just slide, but because there's a camera pointed right at it, I mean, it was, and I don't know if the camera's just a shitty cameraman or just one of those unfortunate things where they cut to this shot.
No, I can tell you.
And you can see the ref kicking the chair, so it was in Becky's grasp.
That's whoever is directing that show, the technical director on that show, either just flat out dropping the ball or somebody telling him, you know, directing the show saying take camera 2, take camera 3, so on and so forth, not knowing what's what. Because if you don't know, I mean, I don't think people outside of that production arena that goes on within WWE have an idea of exactly how much fucking prep work goes into making these things look as real as possible.
I mean, they have that shit down. I've been up there. They have that shit down.
Absolutely.
What camera's going to be shooting at what time and where the people are going to be at during that match.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You have to account for TV breaks. You know, those are the lull spots like you'll see at the beginning of the match where the face or the heel gets thrown out. That's just so they can go to commercial.
Yep, and you notice that when people
segue to a commercial,
you notice when people go for a pin, they're facing the hard cam.
Yes,
people don't go for pins facing away from the hard cam. I saw Nia Jax do it where she was about to go for a pin and she caught herself and walked around and made sure that she was facing the hard cam. All that shit is taught to them. That's all the kind of stuff that they do. So yeah, a lot of that kind of thing that we see at home. It's not so much the performers. I mean, it is to a certain extent, but it happens a lot more often. It can be the production crew that fucked them over. I'm with Jody. Too many people were expecting perfection. That's not right. BJ says Evolution adds to Vince's bottom line. He's a happy man and not worried about the botch stuff. Couldn't agree more. Yeah. No pay-per-view is perfect, like NoFX says. So I'm with you there. We're going to move along to Mr. John Cena here and his decision on the Crown Jewel. But let's get to Juanito on the phone lines here who wants to talk a little Crown Jewel. What's going on, Juanito? How are you,
sir? Good evening, man. The Crown Jewel thing, I know it's a kind of like a touchy subject for a lot of fans out there, but in the end of the day, WWE wins regardless. I don't know what's the big deal where the fight is. I mean, I understand what's going on, but either way, wrestling is wrestling, you know. It doesn't really matter where it's at. I mean, crazy shit goes on all over the world. Crazy shit goes on 5 minutes away from where I live, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Across the border.
That's a good point.
And I think that somebody made a mention of before, is that this is not the first time something like this has happened.
No.
I mean, shit like this happens here in America. Wasn't there just a mass shooting?
Absolutely.
And
we just had another one.
No one's going to fucking stop running shows in the U.S. because there was a mass shooting. I mean, and I don't mean to sound heartless because, I mean, since it seems like they did that and lured that guy there and killed him, like, I think that's definitely bad, but that's politics, that's government, that's nothing to do with wrestling.
Totally agree. Juanito, you going to be watching the show on Friday?
I'll be at work. I'll watch it on a replay, but I'll be at work. And then in the morning, good luck. I got in trouble today. She's for being on the phone.
Well, don't do that, man. You're a valuable member of the Speez and the Benchmark community, so we appreciate you, man.
All right, good night.
All right, have a good night, brother. Thanks for the phone call. Juanito, our boy from the 619, calling in. So the big news, I guess you could say the big news, John Cena and Daniel Bryan were two names that had been floated around as guys who were possibly not going to appear at the Crown Jewel show. And as of tonight on Monday Night Raw, for those of you who didn't see, after his match with Finn Balor, Lashley, and fucking Lio Rush, who is kind of growing. I mean, he's so annoying, and I mute the TV, but it's getting
funny.
to be a little bit funny to watch
it's
him.
funny. It's annoying to watch. I feel like it's a disservice in the fact that it takes away from Lashley match, but
This is true.
as far as helping the character Lashley and getting that heel persona, it's perfect. So it's one of those, fuck, you got to take the good with the bad, I guess.
Yeah, and one last thing on Evolution. I'm totally with you, Brooke. You said it's not going to be perfect. Totally agree. I mean, I'm with you. It's not going to be perfect. But again, by us pointing out the things that weren't perfect about it, we do the same thing with the other pay-per-views as well. We point out shit that we don't like.
We also point out the things that we liked about it.
Exactly. So, but back to this John Cena thing. Here's what I find interesting. If I would have told you, this is Monday. If I would have told you 8 days ago that the two most sympathetic figures on the internet wrestling community were going to be John Cena and Roman Reigns, you would have looked at me like I was a fucking crazy person.
Yeah.
And right now, at this very moment, I said it on Twitter earlier, I have never seen people do a 180 on a character since a week ago. They did it on Roman Reigns, but it's what they've done on John Cena. People have been shitting on John Cena forever. They shit on John Cena about going to Hollywood. They shit on John Cena because his character doesn't change. They shit on John Cena because he's a part-timer. They shit on John Cena for everything.
6 moves of doom.
Yeah, and all of a sudden, John Cena's this big fucking hero, and everybody's talking, I got mad respect for John Cena. Like, what the fuck? No, you don't.
Yeah.
Stop it. You're the same ruthless asshole that bitched and moaned nonstop about Roman Reigns, and then all of a sudden when he had cancer, you would talk about, I never disliked Joe. I just didn't like Roman.
Yeah.
You know, it was never a Joe thing. And same thing with John Cena now. Everybody's trying to backtrack and talk about how, oh man, I got mad respect for John Cena. I always respected John Cena. He didn't always respect John Cena. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Proud of Cena for refusing to go. Yeah, Alistair Fiend, look, and Silky and I were talking about this before the show. Interested to hear you guys' take on it. I think in terms of his going or not going, I think John Cena had the most to lose if he went. And I think John Cena had the least to gain if he went. Yeah. I say he had the most to lose because John Cena doesn't run in wrestling circles anymore. John Cena runs in Hollywood circles. And if there's one thing we know about Hollywood, it's a very liberal place. And this is not an indictment of Hollywood or whatever your political beliefs happen to be. We don't bring our politics into this show because you probably don't give a shit, and we're certainly not going to share it with you because it's not a topic of conversation on the show. So it's not an indictment of anybody's political background. But the fact of the matter is, Cena runs in a community out there in Hollywood that's a very liberal community and is probably not a fan of this WWE show whatsoever. And so, to me, the PR hit that John Cena would have taken in Hollywood circles, he had the most to lose by going to the show. And as far as having the least to gain, that guy's made a shit ton of money.
And not even just money. It's just like, this is one of many other things. I mean, he's fucking 16-time champion. I mean, he's held every title. He's wrestled all of the big names. I mean, what else? Creating this fictitious, well, it's not fictitious because it's happening, but this meaningless fucking tournament does nothing to him. He's already first ballot Hall of Fame.
No question about it.
He decides to, you know what? I'm going to stop wrestling tomorrow. The next day we will be seeing that John Cena's going into the fucking Hall of Fame. So, yeah, he has nothing to gain at all from this. I mean, just one more. His resume is so long, it's just, what's one more thing? You know what I mean?
Absolutely
it's
right.
Like, what's one title when you've run fucking 16 world titles?
Yeah, and Cooking with Mafia says, a bandwagon fans, you guys are all over. Jody says, bandwagon hoppers. Hollywood said, we'll cancel you and you're not invited to the party, says Bob Baruski. Hey, listen, you say that kind of jokingly, I would imagine, But that's 100% right, man.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you get on the wrong side of that crowd and you're fucked.
Yeah,
and I can talk about that firsthand experience, man. I mean, it is a very, very cutthroat place.
I mean, this is the same Hollywood that when he did the show in fucking Australia, like they told him they had to promise that he wasn't going to really do much. So he got in, did his couple of moves because Hollywood does not want him getting hurt because you got this major star that you're paying umpteen millions of dollars for this umpteen $1 million production. He gets fucking hurt. Guess what? Production slows down. You can't really just replace a motherfucker halfway through the movie and whatnot. So now you just got to wait for him to get better before you can shoot again.
Yeah. His haircut should be enough evidence that he's gone Hollywood.
Yeah, that's oh my God.
Hey, listen, I want to get to something Peck and Rod said here, and not to insult you, Peck and Rod, but I've heard this before. Could this Reigns thing be a shoot to get him over?
That's kind of dumb.
I've heard that take before, and again, I'm not going to crush you for it because I don't know if you're asking this, Peck and Rod, as you personally, or if you're hearing it from other people. I think there's absolutely 100% no fucking chance whatsoever that Roman Reigns is somehow faking the fact that he has cancer to try to get over with the fans.
There's no payoff for this.
No, there's not. It would be such a monumental PR disaster in this day.
Especially with all the charity work they do with not just Susan G. Komen, other cancer foundations, to find out that they're using this as a storyline. Yeah, no, that's a big resounding no.
Yeah, it's not going to happen. I couldn't even see them doing that kind of shit back in the Attitude Era.
Yeah,
and that's when things were a lot fucking crazier than they are now.
In the Attitude Era, they did a thing where Triple H fucked a dead person.
I'm telling you, they had sex on camera, in the ring.
Birthed a fucking hand.
Birthed a hand.
Well, I think they would have done that in the Attitude Era because, the whole pregnancy and faking the baby.
Man, they had more fucked
Don
up
Marie fucking Tori Wilson's dad to death.
Oh, God, that was crazy, too.
Oh, let us not forget Big Boss Man casket surfing. Or Big Boss Man cooking Al Snow's dog and feeding it to him. Like, Attitude Era was pretty fucked up when you think about it. So this absolutely, if this was the Attitude Era, could have been a storyline.
I don't know, man.
But not now.
Even that's fucked up. And yeah, I'm with you, Jody. Jody, cancer survivor herself. Nothing to do with work with. That would be absolutely awful. And Make-A-Wish would absolutely 100% be out the door. So, no, I know there's people out there that say that. And honestly, I don't understand where the fuck people get this idea that it's just people not using their brains, man. It just doesn't make a lot of sense. Cooking with Mafia says it's like me faking an orgasm to get over with my girl.
I'm speechless because it's a very serious thing.
No, but
so
that's
I want to
funny.
slam you for like that, but that's just too good.
That is pretty funny.
I'm gonna let you make it.
and Juanito's happy that The Rock's not going to be at Crown Jewel. I heard that, and again, this is one of those things that you hear people with their sources talking about, that the old Prince over there was willing to throw a shit ton of money at WWE if they'd put the title on The Rock, if they'd have The Rock come over and win the championship at Crown Jewel. So, Jeffrey Cross says Cena's a hypocrite. We're going to have to follow up on that one, Jeffrey Cross. Why do you think Cena's a hypocrite? We shall see.
I kind of know.
Triple H making love to the corpse in the casket.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a lot of crazy shit that was going on. That Katie Vick storyline, that whole thing was just such poor taste.
Great guy.
Snitsky, who's Silky has wrestled.
Yeah, punting the fake baby. Yes, I did.
It's not his fault.
Yeah, it was not his fault.
And he still drops that line to this day.
Oh, yeah.
Roman's like Hulk Hogan to the kids these days. No way it's a shoot. I totally agree. Yeah, it's not even worth entertaining, to be honest with you. Let's get to at least one last thing before we get off the air here. The WWE announced earlier tonight, officially, I think it's our first official match of
Survivor Series. We're going to get champion versus champion, Ronda Rousey taking on Becky Lynch. Your thoughts on Ronda versus Becky at Survivor Series? You looking forward to this one? Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I mean, I like this new age of the Survivor Series where it's, Raw versus SmackDown, so obviously the champions wrestling each other, I think is going to be, you have to have. I probably would prefer, but because Becky's such a heel character, I mean, it probably wouldn't work because she wouldn't get enough people or, But I think instead of having the champions, because in this era, you don't want to put one champion over the other. And this is just my opinion. Like, you don't want to put Ronda over because then that diminishes the SmackDown title. You put Becky over, that diminishes the Raw title. No one wants to see a bullshit no finish. So I think if this is about Raw and SmackDown, why can't we have, I think, go back to the old Survivor Series where it's like every match was fucking Survivor Series.
Yeah,
so
yeah, exactly.
A team Raw led by the Ronda Rousey versus Team SmackDown led by Becky Lynch, and do the same with the WWE and Universal title.
Yeah, and did they not do that last year with the men's side? Because
no, they did. Well, they did a Survivor Series match, Raw versus SmackDown, but it was
because I know they still reference the fact that Raw won more matches than SmackDown did because, and piggybacking off your point, I thought the match between Brock Lesnar and AJ Styles at Survivor Series last year was fucking awesome.
Yeah, it was.
And
great.
I thought both of those guys came out of that match looking great.
I mean, but it's one of those things. Yeah, but how many times can you pull that off in one night?
No, I'm with you. That's what I'm saying.
I think it's just a little too hard to do.
It can be done, but it is difficult to do. I totally agree with you.
So I believe that they should do it more like that, where it's everyone, like at least the three majors. So your women's champions and your men's champions, and then maybe do put your Intercontinental and your IC champ with the men's team. So that way,
I got you.
And your tag team champ. So every championship is referenced in these two matches, and then you can do SmackDown versus Raw matches, but not with your champions.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, I remember. And I'm getting back to backtrack here briefly to what Jeffrey Cross was talking about. He talked about the hypocrisy of John Cena being the fact that he gave The Rock shit about going Hollywood, and now he's going Hollywood as well. And Bob Aruski brought up something as well. Let me find the comment here. Cena did the greatest Royal Rumble and did a speech after his match. And that was the first thing that came to mind when I saw all these people kissing ass on John Cena earlier. And that's not to say I don't appreciate what John Cena's doing. Good for him. If that's the way he feels about it, then more power to him. And he should be applauded for being the kind of guy that says, you know what? I don't feel comfortable with this. I'm not going to do it. Good for him.
Yeah.
At the same time, the first thing that I thought about was the fact that after that greatest Royal Rumble match, he got on the mic and was just talking all glowingly about how great the people of Saudi Arabia are, and I'm so proud to have been allowed to come here and perform for all of you, and just was very, very kind and complimentary and everything like that. Not to say that, and I don't think he's being hypocritical here, because again, at that moment in time,
there was nothing like this going on.
There was nothing like this going on, exactly. Now, in retrospect, would he have done the same thing? No, I don't think so. In retrospect, I don't think WWE would have signed a 10-year contract.
Yeah.
That they couldn't get out of.
Killing motherfuckers.
Yeah, and it would be bad. Any hope we get Seth versus AJ or not yet?
No, there's no. I don't think
not
so.
At Survivor Series.
Not at Survivor Series, at least, or not anytime soon. Because one, there's just no way you get, unless they do like the idea I pitched last week of making the winner of the World Cup third member and making it back to a triple threat match, but they seem pretty dug in about just Braun and Lesnar one-on-one. So no chance of Seth versus AJ, at least for this year.
Hopefully that match happens, I don't want to say sooner rather than later.
I would like to see it, but I want to see, like, I want to be shocked.
Thank you for the Super Hearts, Alistair Fiend.
I want to be shocked. So I would love to see, like, say Seth win the Royal Rumble, but instead of, basically jumping ship and saying he wants to challenge AJ.
That would be great.
I mean, something like that. But, I mean, it wouldn't make sense for him to do that. But, I mean, I'm just throwing out a scenario that can get this match that I want to see. Yeah. Because he's never held the Universal title. He's held the WWE. So odds are you win. Why wouldn't you try to take the one you haven't held?
Yeah, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. And, hey, I'm with you. That's a match I think everybody would want to see. So hopefully they make it happen before AJ gets too much further along in his career, not to say he's getting old, but he's getting old. He's not a spring chicken, like we don't want to wait too long and have it be, these guys finally get together when they're both well past their prime.
I want to touch on what Jeffrey is saying about bitched about part-timers now. He's doing the same thing. I get that in a sense, but he's also not out here taking main events away from people. So that's the one thing. And if you look back, that's what he was bitching at with The Rock, is that you go away and now you come back, you get pushed to the moon, you get the main event.
At WrestleMania. At the biggest fucking event of the year.
You get a fucking title shot, you become champion, and you're part-time.
Yeah.
Like, that was Cena's beef with The Rock. Now, Cena, while he is, yes, on some level, it is hypocritical because he is now a part-timer, but the spot he's taken is not taking away anything from anybody. He's not wrestling for the world title. He's not wrestling for the universal title. He's wrestling fucking bullshit matches to get other storylines over.
Yeah.
He's doing this, or he was supposed to be doing this bullshit tournament.
Yeah.
Like, so...
He's coming back and jobbing to The Undertaker at WrestleMania to give The Undertaker another WrestleMania moment. So,
yeah,
however you want to do it. Let's get this in here quickly before we get out of here. Our boy Travis Wallach, Prestige Properties, 713-882-4609. PrestigePropertiesTX.com is the website. Again, folks, anybody you know in the area, anybody you know down here in the Texas area, give them the heads up about Travis. Tell them to give him a call. Check him out on the website. Send him an email, travw777@gmail.com. This is one of our guys, one of our big supporters, been with us since day one, our boy Cooper. And his kids have always been amazing supporters of our program, so we try to do everything that we can.
Support them because they support us.
They certainly do, and so we try to do what we can. Prestige Properties, Travis Wallach, 713-882-4609. Proud sponsors of the Speez and the Benchmark Show. And, of course, do not forget about the free giveaway, folks. We got a couple of autographs for you. 8x10 autographed by Vicky Guerrero and an autographed NXT card from the boss, Sasha Banks. All you got to do is subscribe to the YouTube channel, tinyurl.com/Speez Benchmark. Take a screenshot of your subscription. Make sure you get your name in there so we know who's who. And if you're already subscribed, again, just take that screenshot, reply to the pinned tweet on our Twitter account @Speez Benchmark, and you'll be entered to win. We'll have the winner announced next Monday. And of course, don't forget about the tip jar, as Silky is pointing out right now, tinyurl.com/SB tip jar. Let's shout out the good folks who gave us the super hearts tonight over on Periscope, because we're getting close to that 185,000.
Jeffrey Cross, Alistair Fiend, Get the Tables, Juanito, and Dr. Huge.
Dr. Huge, we always appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for that. Silky, anything else to get through to the people before we call it a night?
November 3rd, which is this Saturday coming up, I'm at the Elks Lodge in Katy, Texas. Come see me. Follow us at dzwrestling.com. You can follow me on Facebook, Silky Baines. It's very easy because I'm a black motherfucker named Silky. So
there's not a lot of them out there, I guess.
Not a lot of them. Not on Facebook, at least. I don't know how I was able to keep my shoot name and not have to go. I know a lot of people who wrestle under legitimate names, but it's just not theirs, and they got the Facebook message that they had to change their name. Nope. They knew Silky Baines was too good, so they're like, we're going to let Silky Baines make it.
There you go. There you go. Thank you, Alistair and Jeffrey Cross, for the kind words. We really appreciate doing this show. Thank you, Juanito, Cooking with Mafia Brooke, all of you guys that were over there on YouTube. Tana,
and
we
also
appreciate you guys.
Bustin' for Autism.
At Bustin', the number 4 Autism. Proud supporters of the show as well. We appreciate it. We are back on Thursday night, 8 p.m., with Ruthless Ryan Davidson. He will be with us on the show on Thursday, so make sure you tune in for that one. For the Benchmark, Silky Baines, Chris Spizak. We'll see you Thursday, 8 p.m. Central here on the Speez and the Benchmark Show. Have a good night, everybody.